Like and subscribe right now, or this spider will crawl on your face when you're sleeping. World War I mummies, two-headed bucks, or alien eggs. People often find outrageous things on mountains, and here are some of those shocking discoveries made in Arctic regions. Hang on to find out what happened to this poor moose wedged in a tree. Bear chasing skier. Poking a bear is all fun and games, unless they start chasing you. A man was skiing on a sloped mountain in Romania when he had the fright of his life in the form of a wild bear approaching him. The man did what anyone with 1 ounce of brain would do: scare off the bear by shouting at him. The trick partly worked, and the bear got intimidated, but then started following the man aggressively.
Bah!
At one point, it got so close, it felt as if the man was about to go down in history.
Hi, my double fuga.
Luckily, the bear warded off, and the man completed his ski. Wild mountain goat. Brace to have the scare of your life. A man was off trail hiking in Alaska when suddenly, this happened. The mountain goat was literally about to charge him into the air. The animal got very skeptical of him and stuck around for another minute. But honestly, the way it charged at the start, I'm gonna say he made me a fan. And this one from Utah wanted to fight. It constantly poked the man, but he discouraged him by shouting, "No, no."
No! No!
He jumped into the air and showed the man his aggressive tendencies. At last, the man had to surrender as he started running away. A two-headed buck. Imagine you were hiking on a mountain and come across a buck with 2 heads. No, the buck didn't have a two-headed deformity, but it was carrying out the head of his dead competitor in his antler. Now, how does that happen? Our guess is that during mating season, these animals fight over mates and assert dominance. I guess somehow during the fighting, this one got entangled with his enemy. And, well, you know the rest. The enemy obviously died. How the head detached from the opponent's body is still a mystery, along with whether he is wearing it as a medal or as a helmet on his head. Pretty savage if you ask me. World War I mummies. The story behind World War I mummies is quite tragic. These are the bodies of the poor soldiers who were at the Italian front in the war. Many Italian and Austro-Hungarian troops were killed during combat on the snowy mountaintops, so every now and then, various mummified bodies of these soldiers are getting discovered. Various hikers and climbers also stumble upon these carcasses. It's quite sad to see how many soldiers and their bodies were forgotten after the war, and after a century, they are being excavated. Many volunteers also join these excavations to honor the memories of these dead soldiers. UFO landing. This clip was captured by 2 friends who were out on a walk at a frozen lake. They noticed a strange pattern engraved within the snow. There were small holes poking out through the icy surface.
Found this out here in the middle of the lake. So foggy.
Alright, I'll touch it.
After the video went viral on social media, the speculation went wild. Some said that the strange pattern is a mark left behind by an alien UFO, and this is the place where they landed. Whereas others said that these are the extraterrestrial eggs aliens have planted so that an alien population would grow on the Earth. Well, what do you guys think this is? Tell us by commenting below. Lava mountains. I don't know about you guys, but I used to wonder what would happen if ice caves meet lava lakes, and looks like our mighty Mount Erebus in Antarctica has that answer. Mount Erebus is a 3,800 meter high active volcano in Antarctica with a lava lake that keeps going up and down because of the gas plumes, which originate from the mantle some 100,000 meters deep in the earth. But being in Antarctica, the hot gas meets the cold air and results in these beautiful fumarolic ice towers. what's more astonishing is the fact that all these ice towers are virtually connected to each other through a system of ice caves that are formed by powerful, erupting gases. Look at these beautiful ice crystals forming. Amazing! A ton of bones. Scientists have found tons of bones, skeletons, and fossils of various species that range from 71 to 67 million years old in Antarctica, suggesting it was a habitable region in the past. The discovery was made in 2016 when a team of researchers found over a ton of fossils on James Ross Island, and most of them were the remains of ancient marine animals, along with the Mosasaurus. You guys might remember it from the famous Mosasaurus show featured in the Jurassic Park movie. They also have collected fossils of birds and small insects like a worm, or the forewings of a beetle species that lived between 14 and 20 million years ago when Antarctica was a warmer region. 4 billion-year-old meteorite. On December 27, 1984, an expedition crew in Antarctica found a little Martian rock buried in the ice. The 4-pound rock was said to contain microscopic bacteria within itself, evidencing the existence of life on Mars. The claim sparked heavy discussion among the experts and different schools of thought. It was only in January of 2022 that the claim was denied on the basis of lack of evidence and solid proof. Though the organic matter found on the chunk of rock from a meteorite gave some hope to the claim of life on the red planet after decades. Pyramid in Antarctica. These ancient pyramids are one of the spookiest things on the planet. They just keep popping out everywhere. Northern Peru, California, Indonesia, and now Antarctica. Though debunked to be the peak of a regular mountain, the pyramids of Antarctica set the internet on fire when they were first photographed in 2016. Some believed that humans had inhabited Antarctica and built pyramids like the Egyptians, while conspiracy theorists went straight to aliens. They said that the pyramids might be power generators that connect the Earth through wireless energy, and extraterrestrial entities might use this system to communicate with the likes of them. This whole thing feels so creepy and bizarre. Who knows what's true? Frozen Skeleton Lake. In the Indian peaks of the Himalayan mountains, when the glaciers melted, some secrets were found. Rupkund Lake in Uttarakhand is so clear that you can even see your face in it, or you can easily catch a fish. But you might get scared because this lake contains skeletons in it. According to the researchers, these are the skeletal remains of people of the 9th century who were killed during a hailstorm. This lake is definitely creepy. Baby mammoth. In this entry, a climber saw a baby mammoth's body lying on the frozen riverbed. When the team reached to see the ancient mammal, it was gone. Later, it was found out that the body was stolen and sold to someone who informed the team and gave them the frozen baby. This was the most complete skeleton of a baby mammoth ever found, and the research team conducted many tests on it. It was found to be thousands of years old. Stuff from old age. People from the Ice Age used to wear special wool-made tunics to cover themselves from frostbite. Recently, some things were discovered that were used by people for thousands of years, but are still preserved, like someone just left them there a few days back. Incredible fact is that the research declared that this tunic belongs to 300 AD. Not only this, they also found 1,100-year-old weapons and a 3,400-year-old pair of shoes. How can things be preserved this long? Iced rabbit. Kazakhstan is facing extreme weather fluctuations, but this clip sure shows us a creepy and disturbing side of it. Many pets were frozen to death due to snowstorms. There were many poor animals who suffered from the snowstorm, but one of them was a rabbit. Check out this video where this guy is holding a rabbit like it's a statue or hard toy. I feel really sorry for the poor animals of Kazakhstan. Severed hands. Serial killers love to keep count of their progress. A fisherman in Siberia got the shock of his life when he saw hands coming out of a snow pile. He might have screamed, but then called authorities. The authorities found 54 severed hands without bodies in the pile of snow. According to them, these were preserved by a serial killer to keep his or her progress count. Now, it is terrifying to see a hand stuck in the snow in movies, but 54 pairs of hands? That's damn scary. Ice-buried Franklin expedition. Franklin's Lost Expedition was a failed British voyage of Arctic exploration led by Captain Sir John Franklin during the 19th century. Loved ones searched for their bodies, but none were found for a long time. But after many years, they were found frozen in ice near King William Island. These naturally preserved bodies were discovered buried in the 20th century with open eyes and mouths, showing as if they were screaming or shivering at the time of their death. Frozen bacteria. You might have heard about skeletons, shipwrecks, and many other amazing things discovered under iced lakes. These permafrost hold many secrets, and one of them is frozen bacteria. A bacteria was causing plague disease in the Arctic region, and well, this bacteria is 32,000 years old and covered with ice. But it's not harmless or innocent, but a deadly and contagious disease frozen in ice. People have been freaked out ever since this discovery was revealed, saying that when the ice of this water body melts, it could cause a huge, deadly pandemic across the world, just like the coronavirus. OTZI the Iceman. This is the frozen body of an OTZI man from the Chalcolithic period, or the Copper Age. This was named after a tribe named OTZI Alps. It was the only thousands-year-old mummy found in Europe. It was very hard to take him out of the ice. According to researchers, he died due to multiple diseases, including pain in the body, arteriosclerosis, stiffening of arteries, and whipworm disease, which was an ancient disease. Moose wedged in a tree. Here we have a tragic story of an elk. This hiker was out exploring the woods when he stumbled across this. 2 trees stopped a bull elk who was charging to hit someone, perhaps at a speed of up to 40 miles per hour. Or maybe the poor guy was just racing with his pals when he got badly stuck, and they left him all alone to die. It looked like he lived his last breaths all alone in the forest, trying his best to get free from the shackles of the tree. Nature is surely ironic. Polar bear. Polar bears are often regarded as animals who actively hunt humans for food. Now, keep this in mind while watching the next clip. During an expedition to the Arctic Circle, this climber accidentally went into the territory of polar bears, where this one was on a hunting mission. The man was comparatively safe in his cubicle cage, but such a powerful animal can turn the odds at any time. The polar bear approached his cage. First, she sniffed for a good while to get a good scent, after which started making her move. She stands up and starts using her paws to open the cage. After a good sniffing, she found a weak spot and tried to get her paw inside the cage. When even this didn't work, the intelligent animal thought that the glass was ice and tried melting it with her breath and scratching it away. Then came time for some nice shaking. It's like she was shaking a vending machine for a yummy snack. After repeatedly failing at having a meal out of this man, the polar bear went away. And during an Arctic voyage, this ship had a guest polar bear. The travelers didn't mind the company and actually gave him some of their meal as a treat. The animal, too, was more curious than furious. But what's frightening is that they let him come on board in the first place. Yep, The travelers closed themselves in the cabin and let the humongous beastie roam their ship. Snow leopard. While crossing the Spiti Valley in India, the climbers were shocked to see a snow leopard approaching from the opposite side. You can clearly witness the sheer panic of the climbers and how they got stunned after seeing such a magnificent beast. Thank God that he wasn't hungry, as the whole scene could have been ended by a bloodbath. The leopard stayed there for a moment, but after recognizing no potential danger, he went on. Another snow leopard from India. The region Gulmarg of the western Himalayas in the state of Jammu and Kashmir is famous for its snow leopard sightings. These skiers were out skiing there when suddenly they spotted something in the snow. It was a cunning leopard who was masking himself under the snow so that it couldn't get spotted. But when he saw that his cover was blown, the leopard ran from there, getting intimidated by the bunch of skiers. And now, let us move on to our subscriber pick of the day. This image was sent to us by one of our subscribers. Similarly, if you ever wish to know more about an image you come across, just send it on over to us. Who knows? We might even feature it in one of our videos. Today's subscriber pick is a picture of a pretty heartwarming incident in which a climber named Don Wargowski and his team went to conquer the Barunsi Peak. When they were at the altitude of 5,500 meters, they saw some animal tracks. This shocked them, as we all know there aren't usually any wild animals at such a high altitude. But some moments later, they saw a dog approaching them. They relocated him to the nearest camp and went away. But after getting the chance, the dog again followed them. So they decided to make him a companion on their journey. But not everyone does that when they're chased by wild animals. Wolf. These explorers were at a research station in Norway when they encountered a howling pack of wolves. They didn't maintain their distance, so the pack came face to face with them. They started smelling the pair, which is never a good indication when it comes to wolves. When the guy moved at a fast pace, one wolf sensed it as a threat and instantly charged at him to remind him that they are the ones in charge. These Arctic wolves were out wandering in the Canadian mountains. But as we all know, everything is friendly in Canada, and so are the wolves. They curiously roamed around and smelled the men to investigate their intention. People these days are seriously unbelievable. Look at this man racing with a fully grown wolf. This wolf chase could have turned into a brutal massacre in a minute. Moose. Moose are known to become aggressive and harass humans when disturbed. Their big horns are enough to intimidate anyone. Now, this, I bet, will be the scariest moose encounter you've ever seen in your life. These two men were out in the wild, trying to catch a glimpse of a notorious giant moose, whose tails were famous in the region. They started making noise, and after a while, the giant animal showed up. One man picked up his pedal board and went towards the moose, scaring it, but the animal didn't budge. This went on for a while, after which the animal got disinterested and went away. This giant moose shocked these hikers on a Canadian forest trail while they were trekking. He was busy eating and didn't want to be disturbed. After enjoying a hearty meal, the animal blocked their path by standing in the middle of the road. After providing the hikers with a good show, the animal went back towards the forest. This man in Alaska came down to check his mail and didn't realize that a moose was standing nearby, staring at the man in anger. It came running down at him from across the street when this dog started barking. Those were the exact moments when the man knew the grave danger he was in. The man called to his pet, and they both ran inside their house. Now, this is one hell of a frightening encounter. Cougar. A man was out hiking with his dog when the pair encountered a cougar in the wild. His dog went immediately near the animal, sensing if it had any bad intentions. Like a faithful dog, he started to intimidate the cougar by continuously barking at it, making sure that it won't harm his owner. The man urged his dog to get away from the wild animal, but he stood there persistently. This made the cougar mad, and he too started approaching him, after which the owner of the dog dragged him out of there. That's all for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching the video. See you next time.